Good evening and welcome to Illini Central Gymnasium. We're back again tonight. Got another volleyball match going on. Tonight it's a Sangamo Conference game, and it is New Berlin against Illini Central tonight. New Berlin comes into this match with Illini Central with a 7-8 overall record, and they are 0-4 in the conference. Illini Central counters with a 7-3 overall record, and they are 2-1 in the conference. Illini Central's wins have been over Athens and North Mac in the conference, and they've suffered a loss to Pleasant Plains. We're about ready for the national anthem, and then we'll get the starting lineups and get started with tonight's action. All right, first off, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. For New Berlin, they will start with number 1, Emily Lescoti. Number 2 will be Grace Hammett. The next starter is number 13, Sydney Wyatt. Number 21, starting for New Berlin, is Amber Kloppy. 24, Emily Voles, and 14, Micah Peebles round out their starting lineup, and the libero is Laura Simpson. The New Berlin Pretzels are coached by Jill Gordon. She'll be assisted by Jenny McDonald tonight. The starting lineups for Illini Central. Number 20, Jenna Hilger starts for the Cougars tonight. Number 24, number 21, Taylor Yates also starts, Number 8, Maddie Gensel. Another starter. Number 33, Sarah Hickman. Number 24 is Selena Bradshaw. And 23, Cheyenne Van Meter. The libero for IC is number 1, Mariah Behrens. Tonight's officials, Doug Wallner and Gary Rankin, the two IHSA registered officials here working tonight's volleyball game. Doug Wallner, Gary Rankin are our officials. And we're about ready to get things underway here. Last-minute instructions for the Cougars. The Pretzels are out on the court waiting for the Cougars. They will exchange the greeting at the net, and we'll get started here shortly. The Cougars played last night and got a victory and are looking to make it another victory here 2 nights in a row. Busy week for the Cougars. We have another home volleyball match Thursday night. So busy week for the Cougars. And so far successful. We'll see how we do tonight against New Berlin. The teams are exchanging handshakes, greetings at the net. And we're about ready to get underway here. Rye Barons, the libero, checks in for IC for Cheyenne Van Meter in the middle of the back row. And the libero, Laura Simpson, checks in for number 14, Micah Peebles, also in the middle of the back row for the New Berlin Pretzels. Number 1, Emily Lascotti back to serve for the Pretzels and get things underway. Lascotti serve down the right side, dug by the Cougars, but it goes over the net. Tempted, put it down by the Pretzels, saved by the Cougars. They get it back over. It's a free ball for New Berlin. They set up the spike. Good dig by Ginsel. They set up Yates, and she's able to put down the kill. Big night last night at the net for Taylor Yates, and she gets the first point tonight. It is 1-0 Cougars. Served by Hilgers. These Pretzels set up number 21, Kloppy, and she goes long with the attempted kill. Point IC, Hilgers back to serve again. Hilgers down the middle. A little bit of a knuckleball action there, and the libero for the Pretzels couldn't handle it. Off her hands, out of bounds, 3-0 Cougars. Hilgers to serve again. Down the middle again. Short. Pretzels able to dig it. They get the spike off of Hilgers. Nobody can get to it. Goes off Hilgers and back behind us here and out, and it is 3-1. New Berlin gets the point there. Strong kill by New Berlin. Here comes their serve. Down the middle, off of Barons, and back over the inline out of bounds, 3-2. 3-2 New Berlin. Grace Hammett serving for New Berlin. Here comes her second serve. Dug by Ginsel. Passed over to Barons and up into the rafters. And the Cougars did try to get it over the net, but didn't clear. Came down on their side. Hammett to serve again. 3-3 game. Deep serve off the attempted dig by the Cougars, and the Pretzels have raced out in front now, 3-4. Hammett again to serve. Deep down the middle again. This time it is Doug. Set at the net. Yates hits it into the block. Comes back to the IC side. Ginsel gets it over. Here comes the set by New Berlin. Number 21, Kloppy, off the block, and it goes out of bounds on the IC side. That's a point for the Pretzels. With Hammett serving, they've run off 5 in a row. Here comes Hammett's serve again. It is short down the middle this time. Doug Bradshaw gets it to the middle. Illini Central gets it over. A quick set by New Berlin, and it catches IC a bit by surprise. She went deep with that quick set. Hickman got to it, but couldn't really do anything with it. Another point for New Berlin, making a nice run here. Hammond again with the serve down the middle. Hickman with the dig. Hilgers with the set. Ginsel puts it down, deep middle. Nobody home for the Pretzels. And that one finds the floor. Point IC. They trail 6-4. Bradshaw back to serve. Down the middle, short. They dive and dig. It's going to be a free ball on the IC side. Here comes the set, 4 Yates. And she tries to put the kill down, but New Berlin able to get the dig. It comes across, back over by IC. Here comes New Berlin. Spike into the block. And eventually gets to the floor. New Berlin made an attempt to get it back over, but could not. Good block at the net by IC. 6-5 game. Bradshaw with the serve, deep down the middle this time. Here comes the set by the Pretzels. 21 Kloppy misses into the net. And the Cougars have come back to tie it up. Bradshaw's serve goes deep into the left corner. Here comes the set by New Berlin. They try to go cross court. It's Doug. Hilgers with the back set to Ginsel. She goes down the middle. Doug by New Berlin. Back set to Kloppy. Doug by Hilgers. Goes over the net. New Berlin comes right back with it. IC handles it. Sets up Hickman. But her attempt at the spike goes into the net. It is a point for New Berlin. 7-6. The libero, number 9, Simpson to serve. Short left, dug by IC. Back set to Ginsel. She goes down the middle, dug by New Berlin. They set up the center hit by number 14, Peebles, and it's blocked at the net by IC. And falls to the New Berlin side, point IC. Taylor Yates back to serve for the Cougars. Down the middle. Here comes the set by New Berlin. Kloppy gets it over. IC able to handle it. Back set to Ginsel. She goes cross court. It's handled by New Berlin. They're going to get it over. It's going to be a free ball for IC. Here comes the set. They go to Hickman. She tries to go cross court and is successful. Point Cougars. 8-7. Yates. Taylor Yates serves down the left side. It's Doug. It's going to be a free ball. New Berlin does get it over. Here comes the set now. Back set again to Ginsel into the block. New Berlin's going to get it back. They tip it over. Here comes a quick set. Great play by Hilgers. Good recognition. Hilgers at the net, saw the opening, went with the quick set, got it to the floor. 9-7 Cougars. Good decision by Hilgers on that one. Here comes Yates. Serving down the left side. Doug set. Kloppy with the spike, but it's handled by IC. They set up Hickman. She goes cross court. That's handled by New Berlin. They come down the middle. And number 14, Peebles with the kill. Point for the Pretzels. Kloppy back to serve for New Berlin. She serves down the left side. Dug by IC. Back set by Hilgers to Ginsel. And that one is somehow New Berlin got it back over. Great defense there. Van Meter at the net. Can't get it down. Here comes New Berlin back on the attack. And number 14 again, Peebles with the kill. 9-9. Good exchange that time. Kloppy of New Berlin with the serve down the middle. Dug by IC. Hilgers with the set. She's going to Van Meter this time. Van Meter can't get it down. Here comes New Berlin back with the cross-court set. Blocked at the net. Handled by IC. Quick set by Ginsel. New Berlin handles that. They set it up on the left side again, and this time it gets down. That was number 33, Brittany Williams for New Berlin. Kloppy with the serve down the right side. Williams at the net. Can't get it down. IC able to dig it. Another quick set by Hilgers. Handled by New Berlin. They get it over, and they set up number 14, Peebles, and she's able to get it across. IC can't handle it. Point New Berlin. 11-9. Down the right side, dug by Bradshaw. Hickman back to Bradshaw. Second in the back line, and she can't get it across. Point New Berlin. Poppy again, dug by IC. Set up to Van Meter. She tips it across. New Berlin comes back. Attempt to kill, dug by IC. They set up Van Meter again. She gets it across the net, off the block, to the floor. And it's a point IC. And it is 12-10. Ginsel with the serve down the middle. New Berlin with the dig. They get set. They tip it over. It goes off of Hickman's fingertips and out of bounds. So it will be a point New Berlin. And I believe the score is 13-10 right now. We don't have a scoreboard on the far end, so and we can't see the one on this end, so I might be guessing sometimes tonight. Here is the serve. The set for Hilgers. She tries to go cross court. Misses long. 14-10. New Berlin. Voles to serve. Down the middle. Dug by IC. Ginsel with the set to Van Meter. She puts it down. Dug by New Berlin. They get it back. It's a free ball now for IC. Ginsel back set to Hilgers. She goes into the block. And then it comes back on the IC side. They get it across. But a tap over on the first contact by New Berlin puts it to the floor. And they now have taken a 15-10 lead. Good action tonight for a team that has just a 7-8 record and doesn't have a win yet in the conference. Impressed with New Berlin. They're playing well tonight. The Cougars take a timeout, try to regroup. Looking to get on a run themselves now. They trail by 5, 15-10. And looking to stop the run here by New Berlin and start one of their own. New Berlin on the court. The Cougars coming out now, and we'll get back to action. 15-10. New Berlin Pretzels on top of the Illini Central Cougars. Emily Voles to serve for New Berlin. Voles standing in the middle of the court. She comes right down the middle with her serve. It's a knuckleball, and it is the first hit goes over. Spike down. Looked like it went off the head of one of the Illini Central players, but they managed to get it over. They set up Williams on the left side. It's back over. Here comes New Berlin back onto the IC side. Hilgers cross court set to Hickman, and she misses long. Some good defense by IC, but they couldn't convert on the offense. Folds with the serve again. It hits the top of the net. Great play by Ginsel to get it back up in the air. And IC couldn't get it over, though. That was a great reaction by Ginsel. When that ball hit the top of the net and found its way over, and she was able to get it back up in the air, but IC couldn't take advantage and get it over. Another one takes top of the net. Right back over on the first hit by IC. There you go. That one's on the wrong side of the antenna. Hammett went up to try to tip, but it came off her hand a little bit wrong and went on the outside of the antenna. Point IC. Hickman to serve. She goes down the right side. It is dug. Back set to the opposite side. They get it over on a tip. Here comes Ginsel. She gets it back over for IC. Here comes the set now for New Berlin. Ooh, and a great spike by number 2, Grace Hammett. Strong finish. Hammett up in the air high and put down a strong spike. Got to the floor. New Berlin out ahead, 18-11. Served by New Berlin. It's back at the net. IC manages to get it over. Here comes New Berlin now. They're setting up And again, Hammett. Very impressive at the net. She went right through the block that time. A lot of power. Peebles with the serve. Here comes IC. They're going to set up Bradshaw. She goes over the top of the block. A micro touch at the net. I don't know, that might have been long, but it did go off New Berlin at the net. And so finally, IC breaks the run by New Berlin. Barron's back to serve right now. She goes down the middle. New Berlin handles it. It's going to be a free ball, though. They can't get a good set at the net. Free ball. IC comes back and sets up Yates. Taylor Yates with the kill. They went to their big hitter that time, Taylor Yates, right in the middle. She went over, angled it to the left side, found the court. Point IC. Barons again with the serve down the middle. Not handled by New Berlin. They were there, but it was knuckling a little bit, and they didn't hit it clean. It went to the shot off to the right, out of bounds. Nobody there. Point IC, 19-14. Barons serve again, trying to get on a run. Deep down the middle. New Berlin not passing it real well. They were trying to set up on the left side to Wyatt, but the passing was not the best, and Wyatt couldn't handle it. It's point IC, 19-15. Barons with the serve. Down the middle. Goes over the net on the dig. IC attempted to get it down, couldn't. They come back. New Berlin gets it over. IC sets up Yates, but Yates goes into the net. Illini Central down by 5, 20-15. New Berlin with the serve. Serve goes down the right side, and IC can't handle it. The pass off the dig was not very good. It was up by the net. The next attempted pass went into the net and then fell to the floor. It is a point for New Berlin off the serve of Lescoti. New Berlin looking pretty sharp tonight. They're playing well, I think. I don't know that IC is playing poorly. Very impressed with New Berlin. They're doing a great job passing the ball. Some great play at the net. Hammett has been very impressive at the net. Strong. She's put down several kills. IC still huddling up. New Berlin out on the court. Here comes IC. They've got to stop this momentum very quickly here. It's 21-15. Or they're going to fall behind here and lose the first game. Lescoti back to serve for New Berlin. Her serve down the middle, dug by IC. Here comes Gensel, set for Yates, and Yates is into the net again. I don't know, might be intimidated a little bit. Some tall girls at the net for New Berlin, and they were up there for the block, and Yates goes into the net. Here's the serve. It's dug by IC. This time they go to Bradshaw. She goes into the block. IC able to get it over. New Berlin gets it set up, but Kloppe cannot get it across the net. Her attempt at a spike goes into the net, and it is a point IC, 22-16. Back around to Hilgers now. Hilgers with the serve down the middle. A little bit trouble handling it, and it's going to be a free ball. But that still gives IC trouble. It ends up with Bradshaw going across. New Berlin digs. They hit it into a block. Comes back. New Berlin back over again. Great dig by Barons. Keeps it alive. And Bradshaw dove, attempted to keep it up alive, but could not. And it is a point for New Berlin. 23-16. Hammett back to serve. Grace Hammett played a good game tonight. Here comes her serve. Down the middle. Dug by IC. Hilgers with the back set to Bradshaw. She goes over the top of the attempted block. New Berlin digs it, though. They set up the back line. Lescoti in the back line got the set, but she went wide left. Bradshaw with the serve for IC. New Berlin. Cross court on the set. Good one. And Kloppy puts it down. Good cross court set. Kloppy went back cross court and found the floor for the point. 24-17, New Berlin with the lead. They're serving. Here comes their serve. IC handles it. Hilgers with the set to Ginsel. Back set. Ginsel goes deep over the inline with her attempt at the spike. And New Berlin has won the first game, 25-17. New Berlin takes the first game, 25-17. Very impressive. Good game by New Berlin. I thought they executed well, played well, did a good job defensively, and were very impressive around the net. Very powerful play around the net. And they're able to win 25-17. Impressive first game victory for the Pretzels. The opening game tonight, the JV match, very hard-fought game, went 3 games, and the match was won by IC. IC won the first game 25-23. New Berlin came back with a 25-20 win in the second game, and the third game going to 15 was IC 15, New Berlin 4, IC with the victory. Some stats here from the first game. Aces for IC. We had number 20, Hilgers, usually one of the better servers on the IC team. She had 1 ace. Barons also had an ace. Kills for IC. Hilgers with a kill. Bradshaw with a kill. Ginsel also had a kill. Hickman with a kill. And Taylor Yates had 2 kills. She also had several of them that, again, with the tall blockers at the net for New Berlin. I don't know if that affected Yates at the net, but she had a couple, 3 opportunities for kills that she put into the net. For New Berlin, their stats, 2 aces by Hammett. Hammett also had 3 kills. Very impressive at the net, and also did a good job of serving. 14 Peebles. She had 2 kills. And number 21, Kloppy, with 2 kills also. So those are the leaders in stats here after the first game. We're ready to start game 2. Simpson, the libero, is into the game for Peebles to start game 2. Barons will also enter as a libero, coming in for Cheyenne Van Meter. Hilgers to serve first for IC. Her serve down the middle, dug by New Berlin. Here comes the set. Blocked that time. That's the first time that they've been able to do that to Hammett. She went up, hit it hard, but it was right into the block of IC. Point, Cougars. Hilgers with the serve down the right side. It is dug. It's going to be a free ball. Hickman with the dig. They set up Yates. She goes long on the attempted kill. 1-1. They had Yates set up in the middle. There was blockers there, and she went over the top of them, and because of that, it went out a bounce deep. Lascotti to serve now for New Berlin. Lascotti down the right side, dug by IC. Gensel's going to get it over. It's going to be a free ball for New Berlin. They're going to set up on the left side. That's dug by IC, and they managed to get it over, but it's a free ball here for New Berlin. They tip it over and managed to find an open space. Sydney Wyatt took advantage of a gap in the defense there, tipped it over on the second hit, and it got down. 2-1 New Berlin. Lascotti to serve again. Lascotti down the middle, dug by IC. Hildreth with the back set to Bradshaw. She goes cross court wide. 3-1 New Berlin. Lascotti with the serve again for New Berlin. She goes deep off of Hickman. Hickman thought that one was going to dive, and it didn't. It stayed up and carried a little bit more than what she thought. Went off her arms and out of bounds. Point New Berlin. They're ahead 4-1. Lascotti with the serve. Into the net. Point IC. 4-2 New Berlin. IC gets the serve back. Bradshaw will be serving. Short down the middle. And New Berlin can't get to it. We saw this last night. Bradshaw, not a power serve, but kind of a knuckleball that she just gets over the net. And hard for New Berlin to stop. Deeper this time. They're able to handle it. They get it back over. IC sets up Hickman, and she just misses long. That was close. They set up Hickman on the left side. She tried to go cross court for the kill. Missed just a bit long. Hammett back to serve. She had a big first game. See what she does this game. Had 2 aces. Here comes her serve. Down the right side. It is dug by IC. Ginsel with the spike. And New Berlin not able to handle it. Ginsel with the point for IC. Taylor Yates with the serve. She goes to the right side, dug by New Berlin. They go to Kloppy, and she pounds it down the middle off Yates and out of bounds. New Berlin with the point. They're up 6-4. The libero, Laura Simpson, back to serve for the Pretzels. They're ahead by 2. She serves down the middle, dug by IC. Goes across the net, and right there, the dig. Passed a little bit too long. It goes over the net. And Kloppy was right there waiting for it. She pounced on it and put it to the floor. Point New Berlin. They're up 7-4. Serve again by Simpson. Down the right side, it's dug, but it comes back over the net, out of bounds. Good serve. IC couldn't handle it. 8-4. Pretzels. Down the middle, dug by IC. Hildreth with a quick set. New Berlin handles it. They get it over. And IC passes it right back over the net. And right there, Peebles, right there at the net, she puts it down. That's a couple times IC's done that. Their passes off the digs have come back over the net, and New Berlin's pounced on them and put them down to the floor. And New Berlin races out to a 9-4 lead this game. They're playing well. IC needs to right the ship in a hurry here. They have to have this game to continue the match, and they're down 9-4, and the Pretzels are definitely on a roll and playing well. New Berlin back on the court. They can't wait to get going again. I see Coach Hernan talking to them yet. Trying to come up with something to stem the tide. There's a buzzer. IC will now take the court again. We will have Simpson back serving. She's been there for a while for New Berlin. They've run off several points with her serve. IC back on the court. Got to change the momentum. Here comes Simpson with the serve. She goes down the right side, short. IC's able to dig it. It's going to be a free ball for New Berlin. Here comes the set to Kloppy, and she's good again. Went right down the middle with it. Barron's able to get there and get an arm on it, but that was it. It shot off to the right and out of bounds. Another point for New Berlin as they continue their run. Serve down the middle. Dug by Barron's. Back to the net. Back set to Ginsel. She gets it down this time. Good set. They went with the back set to Ginsel, and she put it down. 10-5, IC trailing. Short serve by Ginsel. Dug by New Berlin. The spike handled by IC. They go over quickly. New Berlin handles that. They go back over on the second hit, and IC can't handle that. And it's 11-5. Kloppy back to serve for New Berlin. She goes deep into the left corner. It is dug by IC. They set up Bradshaw in the back line. Her spike is handled by Hammett, but the pass off the dig goes over the net, and IC able to put it down and get the point. 11-6. Hickman with the serve. She goes down the right side. Hammett with the dig. Here comes the back set. They attempt to tip it over. It does not work. That was Brittany Williams at the net. She attempted to tip and didn't get it up high enough, got it into the net. Point IC. Here comes Hickman. Down the right side. Dug, it goes up. The pass off the dig goes up into the rafters and then comes straight back down to the floor. New Berlin couldn't handle it. 11-8. Cougars trying to claw themselves back into this game. Hickman with serve. She goes short down the middle. Handled by New Berlin, but nobody there on the set. The setter went to the middle of the net, expecting somebody to be there. There was nobody there, and it is a point IC. It's Hickman again with the serve. She tries to go to the left side and misses wide. Good decision by the Pretzels to let that one go. Brittany Williams looked at it, decided it was going to be wide, let it go, and it was wide. Here comes a serve by New Berlin. They try to go down the left side. Hickman makes a diving attempt at it, but can't handle it. It goes off her arms, out of bounds. Good serve. Point New Berlin. Emily Voles, the server. Good serve first time, tough serve. She goes to the opposite side, this time to the right side. This time IC does handle it. They go to Van Meter, and she finds the line on the right side. From the middle of the court, she angled it to the right side. It got down on the line. It is 13-10. Barons to serve for IC, down by 3. Her serve is on the right side and short. It is handled. They set up Hammett. She goes off the block. IC scrambling to try to get it back. Barons over into the bleachers trying to catch that one, but they can't do it. Hammett has been impressive. Another kill for her. Right off the block. Peebles back to serve down the middle, deep, handled by IC. Here comes the set. To Bradshaw. She goes down the middle. It is dug, but the pass is not very good. Off the dig, it goes over the sideline. Lascotti attempted to get it back onto the court, but couldn't. It is a point IC. Back to Hilgers with the serve. She goes down the middle. Dug by New Berlin. They set it to the left side. The spike doesn't get to the floor. Good defense by IC. They're able to get it back over. Lascotti at the net, tips it over. New Berlin again gets it back over. Here comes the back set to Ginsel. She goes down the middle and to the floor. 14-12. Good defense on both sides that time. 14-12. IC closing the gap. Hilgers with the serve. She goes down the right side. Dug by New Berlin, and they get it back over. It's a free ball for IC. Here comes their set. Yates powers it through the block, and one of the blockers got into the net. Good set for Yates that time. She got up high, hammered it into the block, the attempted block. It went off the block. It would have been a point even if they hadn't been in the net, but New Berlin called for being in the net. They quickly call a timeout. This game is tightened up. It's now 14-13, New Berlin. And New Berlin taking a timeout, trying to stop the momentum. Good game, back and forth. Good action. Very impressed with New Berlin's play tonight. They don't look like a team that is a sub-500 team. Believe me, they have played well. They're trying to end it in 2 games. Illini Central trying to come back in this one, win the second game, and force a third. It is 14-13. New Berlin with the lead. Hilgers with the serve for IC. She goes down the right side. It is handled by New Berlin. They're going to set up the left side into the net. Sydney Wyatt. Wasn't a real good set. It was back off the net away. She went into the net with her attempt to get it over. Here comes Hilgers with the serve again. Down the right side again. And somehow, great play by New Berlin. Somehow they got it back over. But very quickly, IC sets up Yates right in the middle, and she goes to the floor. Strong kill for Yates. And that finally puts IC in the lead. Might be the first time tonight. Hasn't been very many times that IC's been in the lead. They are now. Hilgers with the serve. Handled by New Berlin. They set up Hammett. She goes off the attempted dig. Out of bounds. Point. New Berlin were tied again at 15. Again, it's Hammett. And again, very powerful at the net. Lascotti back to serve for New Berlin. Tie game at 15. Lascotti with the serve down the middle, dug by IC. Hilgers with the set. She sets up Yates. New Berlin able to dig it. They get it back over on the second hit. Back to IC again. They set up Ginsel. Great block. That was Hammond again. Hammond is having a great night. That was a block at the net by Hammond. Ginsel hit it into the block. Hammond blocked it down onto the IC side. Point, New Berlin. They're up by 1, 16-15. Lascotti with the serve. She goes deep down the middle. Not a real good set. New Berlin gets it back over. Hammett, though, just a free ball. They set up Yates, or IC does, and Yates goes into the net. IC missed a chance. They got a free ball there, missed a chance. Yates put her attempt at the kill into the net. Here comes Lascotti again with the serve. Off the net. And on the line. Tipped the net. That was close to being out of bounds. Official ruled it inbounds, right on the line. No argument from IC. Point, New Berlin. Ace for Lascotti. Ticking off the top of the net. Here comes her next serve. Another one just dives right over the top of the net. Hilgers gets it back towards the center, but it's over on the wrong side of the net. It's onto the New Berlin side. And Kloppy puts it down again. New Berlin jumps back up by 4 again, 19-15. Don't know the stats here, but Kloppy seems to me has had several kills here in this second game. She has been impressive at the net. IC scrapped, fought, got back, tied it, took a 1-point lead, but then New Berlin turned it right back around again. They didn't fold up when they lost the lead. A lot of times you see that happen in team battles and fights, and they lose that lead, and they give it up then. New Berlin hasn't. They've been able to stop that momentum swing and swing it back in their own direction. Lascotti with the serve. New Berlin's up 4. Serve down the right side. Lascotti serving well. She put that right down the line. Ginsel couldn't handle it. She dove, attempted to dig it, but it went off her arms out of bounds. Lascotti back to serve again. Down the middle, deep. This time IC able to handle it. It's at the net. And it's a tap, a two-handed tap by Taylor Yates. Not a strong kill, but found the open area. Yates made a good decision that time. Instead of going for the spike, tipped it deep and found an open area. Served by Bradshaw and not handled by New Berlin. A little bit of lack of communication there between the New Berlin players. They're not able to handle the serve. And now IC trying to mount another run. 20-17. Bradshaw with the serve. Short down the middle. It's at the net. And they're calling IC for being over the net. Call goes against IC. Might have been Yates at the net. (21-17). New Berlin, Hammett with the serve. She was good in the first game, but not so good this time. She attempted to go short and left and missed. Went out of bounds. Gives it right back to IC. Yates with the serve. IC needs to make a run. They've got to. They're down 21-18. Yates misses wide left. Service error. Barons enters the game for Yates, the libero. Number 9, the libero, Simpson, to serve for New Berlin. She mishits her serve, and it goes into the net, 22-19. Couple service errors, and we're still at a 3-point match, but New Berlin 1 point closer to the victory. Back set to Kloppe. She can't quite get it to the floor. It is Doug. And IC gets into the net. 23-19. Kloppe with the serve. And New Berlin with the lead. Kloppe goes down the middle. Dug by IC. They set up Van Meter. She goes off to dig, and it goes off to the left. 2 New Berlin players raced over to try to get it back onto the court. They couldn't. And IC gets the point, 23-20. Number 11, Wynn, into the game, I believe, for the first time tonight. Hickman back to serve for IC. She goes down the middle. Handled by New Berlin, but it goes over the net. That's a free ball now for IC. They set up Van Meter. She goes down the middle, dug by New Berlin. They go across court on the set. Not a power kill, but she got it up over the block attempt. And that was Brittany Williams. Got it up over the block attempt, and it found the floor. And it is 24-20. New Berlin threatening to take this in 2 straight games. Voles back to serve. Emily Voles with the serve for New Berlin. She goes down the left side. It is dug by IC. They go to Bradshaw. Blocked at the net and comes back on the IC side. They cannot handle it. They got it up in the air, but it went to the side and out of bounds. New Berlin wins tonight in 2 games. They took the first one 25-17. They take the second one 25-20. They even their record at 8-8. They get their first win in the Sangamo. And the Cougars fall to 7-4 and 2-2 in the Sangamo. Impressive win for New Berlin. I was very impressed with them. They played well tonight. I don't know that you can say that IC played terrible tonight. Maybe not their best, but nonetheless, very impressed with New Berlin. Very good game for them tonight. And they win in 2, 25-17, 25-20. That is tonight's Sangamo game from Illini Central Gymnasium. We'll be back here Thursday night for another game. Here are some stats, and as you would suspect, impressive stats for New Berlin. Let's look first at IC. 4 kills for Ginsel, and she was about the only thing for IC. For New Berlin, once again, it was kind of leading the way. It was Hammett, number 2. She had 5 kills in the after having 3 in the first game. She had 5 in the second. Peebles with 3 kills in the second game. She also played well. She's just a sophomore. Hammett also just a sophomore. So a good young team at New Berlin. Very impressive tonight. And Kloppy, number 21 for New Berlin, also with 2 kills. They were impressive at the net. Good power game there. Had some blocks. They've got good size, and like I said, they looked, to me, much better than their record. They leave the gym tonight 8-8 overall. Illini Central will leave this game with a 7-4 record. Be back in action again Thursday night. I hope you enjoyed tonight's action, and join us again Thursday night for some more Cougar Volleyball. This is John Giesler with Tony Worley wishing you a good evening from Illini Central Gymnasium, where the New Berlin Pretzels defeated the Illini Central Cougars tonight in 2 games, 25-17, 25-20. Good night.